Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Once again, it's Wednesday, the best day of the week, because that's when I get to show up right here. We got a lot of stuff. We got the Guardians, we got the NBA Finals, and some looking into the high school football season already, because this is sort of the dead season when it comes to sports in general. So that's going to fill up that little void I have, and kind of struggling with the no NASCAR race last week. Kind of disappointing, but you know what's not disappointing? You know what hasn't been disappointing? The Cleveland Guardians. Good Lord, they have been unbelievable this season. Team average heading into yesterday, 248, on-base percentage of 310, slugging percentage of 386, which means we have an OPS of 696. 523 hits, 48 home runs, now 49, I believe, thanks to Franmil Reyes, who on his first game back hit a home run. We'll get to that later. Guess who benched him on their fantasy team? This guy. Earned runs, 218. We've surrendered 176 walks. 514 strikeouts, a 3.57 ERA, and allowed 472 hits. So the Guardians at the Rockies. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It was once again everyone's favorite time.
Looks like it's sweeping time. Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep.
That's right. A 3-0 sweep over the Rockies. Jose Ramirez, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and go-ahead double in Game 1. He then hit 4 for 5 in Game 2. 5 Guardians had 1 RBI in Game 2, and the Guardians had a 3-run inning in this second when it came to Game 3. And then the Guardians against the Dodgers. Everyone said, oh, we're playing a good team. There's no way the Guardians are going to take care of the Dodgers. Guess what? They did. I'll tell you that. 2-1 win. Zach Plesac, 6 innings, 1 run in Game 1. Jose called Freddie Freeman the best hitter in the game after Jose Ramirez in Game 1. Oscar Gonzalez, his first career home run in Game 3. That was pretty cool. Andres Jimenez, go-ahead single in the 9th inning of Game 3. And Emmanuel Clase picked up the save. And then you have the Guardians against the Twins. Guess who's in first place with the Twins right now? That's right, the Cleveland Guardians in an 11-inning, 6-5 victory. Franmil Reyes, in his first game back off the IL, hits a home run. And excuse me, we actually have 50 home runs rather than 49 because Josh Naylor from the country of Canada hit a home run. And it was a 2-run shot, I believe. Yes, it was a 2-run shot. Minnesota was winning 5-3, and then in the 8th inning, we scored 2 runs thanks to our good pal Franmil Reyes. And then I believe, let's see, looking at the score, it was Andres Jimenez who scored, or who hit the game go-ahead single into center field that gave the Guardians the win. And today against Sonny Gray, I believe, that's who the Guardians are playing. The Minnesota Twins, yes, Sonny Gray. He's still out there. And then Minnesota again, and then Boston over the weekend. And then a 5-game set against the Twins at Progressive. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's when the Guardians are going to take advantage and win the division, because the Guardians are so good at baseball. I know. Did you vote, my friends? Because voting is still available. And as you can tell, I voted for all Guardians. Owen Miller at first, Andres Jimenez at second, Jose at third, Ahmed at short, Quan, Naylor, and Straw in the outfield, even though Miles Straw has been struggling lately. Austin Hedges catching, even though he's also had his struggles, and Franmil Reyes, who came back off the injured list and hit a home run. Honestly, nobody cares about the National League. Everyone cares about the American League, because that's what the Guardians are doing. Just putting up a clinic right now. So, of course, yep, your first place Cleveland Guardians, that's right. Tied for first, but not for long, because the Guardians are going to be in first place all to themselves by tomorrow, or by tonight, I ought to say. Game 6, the Warriors won. The Warriors are once again NBA Finals champions. It's the fourth time in 8 years. For the first time since 2018. It's been so long, my friends. As you can tell, 4 years. No one waits 4 years. 7th time in franchise history. Steph Curry finally gets that finals MVP he has been longing for. In Game 6, he had 34 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Jaylen Brown, 34 points. Warriors were down 14-2 early on the first quarter. I honestly thought that Boston was going to force a Game 7. Boy, did I think incorrectly, because the Warriors just ran away with it. Celtics are denied their 18th title. And they have the same amount of championships as the Cavs since 1986. Yeah, that's right. The Celtics won NBA championship since 1986, came in 2008, the year we learned anything was possible. Of course, first time since 2018 that the Warriors won the NBA Finals. And, of course, the Warriors are NBA champions. So, congrats to Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, who is still not a cool guy. Draymond Green seems to be a pretty mean guy. Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, and the rest of the Warriors, Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins, former Cavalier, who we traded away so we could get Kevin Love. I thought that was a good trade. I hope you think it's a good trade. But, of course, don't let the Warriors winning the NBA Finals distract you from the fact that the Warriors still blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. 3-1. Yes, sir, in 2016. The greatest NBA Finals, the greatest moment in sports history. The only NBA Finals that does not come with an asterisk. And it's the only one that does not include a Mickey Mouse ring. Everybody knows that. Everybody, including their mothers, know that it was 1,000 times better than anything that ever happened. Better than Bill Mazeroski's home run. Better than Joe Carter's home run. Better than the Cubs winning the World Series. Of course, anything's better than the Cubs winning the World Series. Better than the kick six. Better than Doug Flutie's Hail Mary. Better than anything. Better than Ray Allen's corner 3 years prior. And, of course, it was better than the Miracle on Ice. My mom thinks I'm insane for believing that, but I assure her that people like Mike Eruzione, Jim Craig, Bill Baker, Buzz Schneider, Ken Morrow, Dave Silk, Dave Christian, Mark Johnson, the rest of the 1980 hockey team would agree with my statement that 2016 was better. And last Sunday was a 6-year anniversary of the greatest moment in sports history, when LeBron blocks Iguodala. Of course, Iguodala won again this year. And then Kyrie on Curry, step back 3, good. And then Curry's being guarded tightly by Kevin Love, puts up a prayer of a shot, misses. Then LeBron makes a free throw. And then 93-89, Warriors try a 3, misses. And that was it. That was it. My goodness. The fact that the Cavs were able to do that in the middle of the Warriors dynasty goes to show you how great 2016 truly was. In fact, I have a Twitter thread that basically says why the Miracle on Ice was not as good as, what do you call it, Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. If I can find it. Almost there. There we go. Nope. Yep, the only way the Miracle on Ice could have been better than Game 7 2016 NBA Finals is if the U.S. had one crap and half a century. The game was played in the Soviet Union and for the gold medal rather than just the second to last game. Because if America lost that game, the next game against Finland and Soviet and Sweden tied, America would have finished in 4th, and all that, oh my God, we beat the Soviets, would have been all for naught. The U.S. was down 3-1. All hope seemed lost. Some defensive man or whatever had a big block shot. And, of course, the game was not on tape delay, we'll say that, because contrary to popular belief, the Miracle on Ice was actually previously recorded, for gosh sake. And Mike Eruzione's goal came with under a minute after he shook off a defender. Jim Craig made a big save shortly thereafter. And if there was a star player who won it for his home city, of course, everybody knows that it was way better. And if 1.2 million people showed up to the parade, then you have me convinced. Yes, that is it. That is it. I am not joking. I am being serious. In fact, even the folks from the Miracle on Ice are being serious, because I tweeted, "Hey, Mike Eruzione, Jim Craig," I tagged them. If you don't respond to this tweet, that means Game 7, 2016 NBA Finals was way better than the Miracle on Ice, which is a proven fact. And they're still yet to respond to me. So I'm pretty sure they agree with me. But anyways, hopefully the Cavs make the NBA Finals again next year and don't have a major collapse like they did last year. The Cav lapse, the second coming of 2005. My goodness, that was not fun. Just watching the Cavs go. Like the Coyote, after he goes off a cliff, looks down, goes up, and then... Well, what was that? Alrighty. Time to look at the Suburban League. Now, keep in mind, unlike most years in which I do it all in one, I'm going to do it league by league. So this week is the Suburban League. Next week is going to be the Greater Cleveland Conference. So first things first is the American Conference. As much as it pains for me to put the Hornets at fourth, that's what I think. I mean, the Hornets, we're still a great team. We still got a lot of guys returning. Luke Stiles, 5 touchdowns in one game. Still better than Al Bundy, as everybody knows. But anyways, with a lot of seniors leaving, it's not going to be the same season as last year, but I still think it's going to be a good season for the Hornets. 7-3, 4-3. Barberton is going to win the American Conference. Nordonia is going to win the National Conference. In fact, I think Nordonia's one loss is going to be on the last week of the season to Benedictine. And then, as you can tell, Talmadge is going to finish second. You got guys like Ty Hurst on that Talmadge Blue Devils team that's pretty loaded. Aurora is also pretty good. Aurora and Highland, they'll be battling for that third seed, maybe battling for the top. And as previously mentioned, Highland going to finish fourth, but you never know. And you never know with Copley, Kent, Revere, and Cuyahoga Falls. All these teams in this Suburban League are going to have multiple wins this season, in my opinion. And I really think it should be a good one. It should be a great season. Hudson Explorers are going to go 8-2, 5-1. Stowe, they're losing Owen Bainbridge to Bowling Green University. Of course, Tom Konopka is going to be a long snapper there for Bowling Green as well, which is going to be really cool. Of course, he was at Highland, and Bainbridge was at Stowe. Brecksville going to be 4-6, 3-3. Wadsworth 4-6, 2-4. But you never know. Wadsworth did upset Stowe last year. That was huge. North Royalton 2-8, 1-5. But yet again, every time Highland plays North Royalton, it's always, and I repeat, always going to be a great game. And then the Twinsburg Tigers 2-8, 0-6. And then the big conference games, interconference games, I always say. It starts off on week 4 when the good guys go on the road to Talmadge. Of course, last year we took care of business against them. When Talmadge came here, of course, Ty Hurst knows that there's going to be a lot of revenge in that factor. And speaking of revenge, we're going to have to get some revenge the next week against Barberton. And then the next week, it's going to be Aurora Talmadge. And then the next week, Nordonia plays Hudson. And then on week 8, Aurora plays Barberton. That was a great game last year that Barberton won. And then Stowe against Nordonia. Week 9, Aurora against Highland last year. That was a classic 10-0 shutout, high-scoring baseball game, or maybe a crazy hockey game, as I said when announcing that game. The only game I've been able to announce in its entirety when it comes to football. But that'll change next year, gosh willingly, God willingly, as long as if I'm able to announce games for Highland, and as long as BW commitments don't interfere with it. Of course, BW starts up on August 22nd. Good Lord. And then week 10, Barberton against Talmadge. I think that is what the American Conference is going to come down to. And then Hudson against Stowe, which I don't know who's going to win that one, but I think it'll be a good one. I'm picking Barberton to win over Talmadge. But yet again, it's way too early to say who's going to win. Way too early. And of course, the Hornets, we haven't won the conference ever. And the last time we won the league was 2013. I did tell the Suburban League that they should do, an American Conference versus National Conference game, or for the championship, but still, I don't think that's going to happen, but still. American Conference champions hasn't happened ever for the Highland Hornets. I believe it's only happened to Barberton and Aurora, and I think Copley did a few years ago. Of course, Copley was the team to beat a few years ago. They might be the team to beat this year. Of course, Talmadge is looking like a team to beat. They almost knocked down Barberton last year at their home turf. But yeah, and trips to Wally World if we win the American Conference. And better not be closed for 2 weeks. I will be very sad and angry and maybe force one of the security guards to take us on all the rides, except I'm not really a roller coaster guy. My mom is, though. But anyways, I think that's all the time we have left. Be sure to be here next week for the Guardians, NASCAR, and the Greater Cleveland Conference. We'll see how the GCC will look without Drew Aller, who is now, of course, at Penn State now. It's up for bid now, and we'll see. So long, everybody.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.